Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from ArtAlienTV, another quick game of interplanetary I Spy going on here, and today we are looking at an image from the Spirit Rover. Now the Spirit Rover conked out a few years back now. I will credit this to the right person, who is a guy called Vladimir Vladimirov. Here's his page here, there will be a link to his page, this one, where he's done lots of research, mainly with opportunity and spirit images. Going through them and finding stuff, and he did find this, which looks like a car, very interesting, and he's found lots of other similar things as well, so do check out his page. He's finding sort of vehicles and things all over the place. There's another what looks like a possible car here. Now of course these images are quite low quality, so it's hard to tell with a lot of them, but occasionally you do get a close-up of something, and that's what we have today. And this is the image. And at first glance doesn't look anything special, apart from the fact it's quite dark. We're looking up at a ridge line here, so it's an old image, taken a long time back. And you can see at the bottom of the image here, you can see the solar array that powers the rover, okay, the Spirit Rover, which is actually quite small, the Spirit Rover, unlike the Curiosity, which is the size of a family car. This thing is quite small. Here it is up close, right, here we go. And what we have here, we've got the solar array there, and what we're looking at is this area here. Now you can't see a lot from this distance, but I'm just going to zoom in anyway and see what we can see, okay? Now what we're looking at is this. Now of course you would have seen this on the cover of the image already, so what we have here are rover tracks all over the place here. The rover's been driving around and running over things on the ground, like this here. Now you probably can't see that very well, especially if you're on a mobile device, so I'm going to show you a close-up. This is the raw image, nothing done to this whatsoever. This is as it comes when you download it. Links will be below as usual. And we have a very choppy image. Now if you look at the solar array here, along the, you can sort of see the edge of it here, but it's really poor. The image has been downgraded. Now when you load this up into photo forensics, it says it's been downgraded by 25%. Now I actually think it's been downgraded twice. I think the image has been processed more than once. So it could be as much as 50% damage on this image, and it certainly looks like that when you zoom in. It's all broken up and choppy as hell, and there's loads of JPEG kind of artifacts and crap in here. So it's a very grungy image, but there's just enough detail to actually see what we're looking at. And when you zoom in here, you've got a very blurred out area here. It looks like they've deliberately blurred this out here. You have the edge of the solar array is completely gone. In other words, they blurred over it very, very badly, and not in a careful, discreet way. Whoever processed this image has done it like a true amateur. Really, really bad. Bit of obfuscation going on here, and you can see the tracks here going across this way, going up there, and going right over this person. Now if this is a person, and it certainly looks like one, it's only a small person, okay? This is only a couple of inches, 2 or 3 inches, this skull, this head, and you can see the eye, nose, mouth, chin, and an egg sort of shaped cone head skull, and what looks to be part of the body here, and the tracks have gone right over it and squashed it, and there may have been more of the body here, like feet or hands. This looks like a hand or a foot or something, and possibly this as well, like a boot or something, and there looks to be like 2 leg-shaped structures in the sand there. Now of course this is probably permafrost we're looking at here, because it's very cold on Mars most of the time. The edge of the solar array there should be a kind of whitish kind of highlight around the edge of it there. It's gone, it's completely gone. So someone has deliberately obfuscated this image. It's blatantly obvious. It's one of the most obvious cases of it I've ever seen on any Mars image actually. There have been quite a few, but this is really atrocious. Whoever done this needs to be clipped around the ear, seriously. Yeah, so there we have it. I've cleaned it up a bit, and you can see it a bit more clearly now. Okay. There's the eye, nose, mouth here with lips, chin. There's even a little ear, tiny ear there, and an kind of egg-shaped head. And this, I think, could be part of the body, like the shoulder. And when I show you the enhancement in a minute, a clearer version of this, you'll see that there's more detail in the close-up. And when you get in, you can actually see that looks like it's been kind of ripped here. I'm going to flick through the enhancements quickly. I've just played with the contrast and brightness there, and all I've done there is drawn round it. I've selected round it with the selection tool, and then used an orange filter just to make it stand out so that people on smaller devices can see that. I'm going to zoom in for you. It doesn't get very clear because it's a low-res image, but if you look carefully, there's lip detail here. Lower lip, upper lip. And if you go in really close, there's a nostril here and another one there. Now, what it looks like is the face has been run over. Literally. You've actually got, if you can see the tracks here, it's gone right up to it and over it, and it's squashed it. Now, if this is like a preserved frozen body or torso, part of a partial torso and head, whatever it is, then you'd imagine it would be quite hard, the material, if it's frozen. Don't know. But it's been squashed, and you can see actually almost there are tread marks going through it, here, here, and here, where the skull has got a big indent there. Now this has been run over, of course. So it's literally been squashed, and the nose is distorted. So that nostril is in the right place, but this one here, that dark spot there, would normally be here, adjacent to that nostril. And it's moved. So what's happened there is that the tread of the rover has actually distorted the face and squashed it in just here. You can see like a dark bit here, and it's much lighter there, see? When it goes dark, and it's squashed it. So the nose is kind of bent round and broken, and it looks like the face has been crushed, partially crushed here. So there we are. I mean, what can I say? It's an alien, or a Martian I should say, that's been run over by the Spirit Rover. There's a slightly lighter one here I did. It's not as yellow. But there is a limit to what you can do with these images, because they're very poor quality anyway, and they've done a really good job of ruining the detail in this image by downsizing it at least by 25%. And then, by the looks of it, before that even happened, I expect someone obfuscated the image. Let's look at the image again. Now, there's the raw image. Look how bad this is. When you zoom in, that part of the solar array is completely gone. It's missing. Now, how is that possible? Somebody has blurred over this entire area. See how blurred that is? Compare. Now, you look here. If we look up here, you can see the pixel integrity is pretty good. You can actually count the pixels individually if you zoom right in, and they're in good order, okay? They're in pretty good order, so the detail there isn't too bad. But you come down here, where are the pixels? They've been blurred and blended together with a blur or soften brush, a square one by the looks of it, and they've literally gone over it and completely blurred all the pixels out. And you can see that they've all kind of blended together. So this is a blatant case of obfuscation. Criminal, I would say. Absolutely criminal. But the weird thing is, they didn't actually blur it. Maybe there were two legs here or something. That's what it looks like to me, in the permafrost here. Just in the surface of the ground, not under it, but in it, if you know what I mean. But they didn't really notice that. Perhaps they thought that was a rock, and they've sort of left it. So this hasn't been that badly damaged. The damage done to this is done mainly by the downsizing of the image. But this has definitely been blurred. You can see it with your own eyes. And look at the edge of this. The solar array is gone. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. This is typical, absolutely bloody typical of NASA. You know, they spend all the taxpayers' money going to Mars, spending billions and billions of taxpayers' dollars to get there, and then what do? It's absolutely criminal what they do with this stuff. They do it with the Curiosity rover as well. They do it with the Opportunity rover. All the images are downgraded, and months, 6 months later, you might get a PDS version of the image, but it still isn't full quality. It's absolutely criminal what they're doing, and they're doing it deliberately to hide detail. Most of the images they take are in black and white. This one's had a colour filter added, obviously. But there you go. I mean, you can see the eye detail here. A very clear eye. And interestingly, not a round pupil. So there we have it. Lips, nose with nostrils, distorted, squashed face. A very, very small ear, just here. Not a lot of detail, but just enough to say that this is a dead person. And some quite complex detail here. This looks like it's been torn. So it looks to me as if this frozen body that was probably just already lying on the ground was run over by the rover, and it's kind of torn it into pieces and chewed it up. You know, you could have actually got, if you look at the width of this tread here, it's the same as this here. So this was probably facing that way slightly, and it's kind of pushed it across the ground and chewed it up a bit and run over it. Okay, and there's something weird. This rock behind it, if this is a rock, this may be part of it as well. This looks kind of organic, some of this stuff. So this could be part of the body. I don't know if it is. Let's have a look at the cleaned up version of the raw image here. There's the little person, and you can see that head quite clearly and the detail there. But this looks interesting. What is that? It's got a hole in it there and a kind of another hole here. May just be a rock, don't know. But it really is a blatant case of NASA obfuscating an image. The most blatant example I've probably ever seen of any, and I've looked through well over 1 million images of the Mars surface from the rovers so far. Another shout out there to Vladimir for finding this. Thanks to him. Going through these old Spirit images. Here's his original post on my ArtAlienTV Mars magazine page on Facebook. Okay, it's not very big. This thing is quite small. Now if the body was intact, I'd say this person would only probably be about I don't know, less than a foot tall. Yeah, so there we are. I can't remember exactly how wide these solar arrays are now. I'm going to look that up and work out the measurements from there and put them in the description for you. So another criminal act by NASA, or JPL I should say, where they've tried to hide something on the ground, and they do this a lot. And luckily for us, they don't do a very good job of it, and leave other things in the image. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you soon. Please share on social media if you can and give the thumbs up. I'll see you soon.